This is in the North Bank. It's a belated afterthought for the Sunday game, which was disappointing against Burnley. It's very early in the morning, 5 o'clock, and yeah, let's do it. Good morning, Gooners. Say very, very early in the morning today. Been very, very busy, and it's Friday. It's another weekend, and doesn't time fly? And we're thinking back to Sunday, the disappointment, the huge overreaction to the events, what unfolded in the game. Yeah, a 0-0 draw, and against a team that historically has always put a decent performance in against us, made it really hard for us. And yeah, we've got a 0-0 draw at home. It is very disappointing. No lie on there. We can't sugarcoat it, but we know that we had chances. We had a lot of the play, a lot of the game, but due to some really good organised defending and some really good goalkeeping, the score stayed on at 0-0. But yeah, you can't take too negative touch on it really. To be honest, we know that this game was kind of just get this game done. If we get 3 points, get 3 points. Yeah, they are bottom of the league. You know, 4 games in hand though, and yeah, get the game done. We then get on this 2-week break in Dubai where the players can recharge and refocus, and yeah, finish the transfer window and see who we've got in the group. But now we had such a massive reaction to a 0-0. Oh, we're done. Season's over. It's just there was some really, really, really over exaggerated reactions. But that again, that's what happens in the World Wide Web and the metasphere as it is with Arsenal fans. And look, we're 6th in the league. Yeah, we finished 8th last season. We've got some games in hand. Yeah, we've got 3 games in hand on Chelsea. We got 2 games in hand on West Ham. So we win those games in hand. Yes. We'd rather have the points on the board than games in hand because we've still got to win those games in hand. But if we do put solid results in with those games in hand, we could find ourselves 2 points behind Chelsea in 3rd. So there has to be a little bit of realism on this side. We're not going to just jump straight to top 4. We got 8th in the last 2 years. Let's evaluate things and actually understand where we are. And yeah, we are in transition. The squad is in transition. Yeah, the amount of players that are being moved on out of the squad, it's mad. There's a lot that's moving on, and it's a lot of work. And yeah, we are seeing that the squad is, or has been in the last 6 weeks, threadbare. There's no doubt in that. And you can see the club trying to make movements. certainly in this window, and yeah, it looked like they've been rebuffed in their attempts to kind of get it. But that's part of where we are. We're not having the same pull as what we did have a few years back. That's because we have fallen. We have dropped down from the top table. But we've got to use this as a stepping stone this season through to the last 3 days of this transfer window up to the summer. And we use this as a stepping stone to next season to then try and make that push and bridge the gap even further. And we've got the players to do that. We've got the youth. We've just got to add the quality to it. And that'll be, say, a 20 goal striker or something like that. But that's the transfer window. We'll go into that a little bit later. Just a quick update. I'll be doing a live stream on the Monday night at 10 p.m. So it will cover the last couple of hours of the transfer window, and we'll see where we are as a club. But yeah, we've had some disappointments already in this window, which I think everyone knows about. But yeah, we'll go through and discuss that in that show. But Sunday, so yeah, the atmosphere was really good. I thought it just needed. It was there in stages, and then it just needed that little bit of ignition, and that would have been a goal that would have carried it on even further. And it wasn't like the players didn't try. It wasn't like they didn't have the energy or anything there. There was a lot of effort, and there was a big difference from what we put out against Liverpool compared to Sunday's game. And yeah, we'll have more control of the game. That's normal, but we'd have more control of the game than we would have had against a big rival, and that's the truth. We had to go wide. We chucked in a huge amount of crosses that were just being battered away by their defence, and yeah, as I say, from some really good defending to really good goalkeeping, it was it could have been a couple of goals in there, and we would have won the game. But yeah, Nick Pope made a couple of blinding saves, and yeah, just one of those things where you just have to deal with it and yeah, move on. And we take this break and we go into it and we try and recharge to get ready for those next games. But yeah, the shape wise in the game, I've got a lovely little graphic here, and it showed. Yeah, we like to push Tierney further forward to go and support Martinelli. Smith Rowe was then also playing in advanced positions, but Odegaard was kind of everywhere. He was picking up the ball deeper. He was basically causing carnage in that little middle area, and he was threading balls through. He had a brilliant run and a little flick pass, which I think was just before the double save from Pope and the defender block. And yeah, he was very busy, and it was another really good performance by him. And he's taken a bit of flack since he come in on a permanent, but it is what it is. He's coming in, and he's now finding his feet again in the group. We had a massive change in the personnel because we had to bring in Ben White on at right back because of Tommy not being fit. So he'd obviously picked up an injury against Liverpool. So and he wasn't really fit anyway. So it probably was not a wise move to have rushed him in on that side. But it's probably worth a risk taking. But yeah, he's got a few weeks to recharge. But Ben White was not an orthodox right back, and it showed at times with Saka further forward. And I think there was one time where you saw Saka urging Ben White to kind of go on an overlap just outside the box to try and create some space. And it did eventually, but it wasn't like second nature to Ben White, which is understandable. And it probably hindered our fluidity as well as a team. But you take then Lacazette in the centre, a couple of big chances. And that shows to me in those kind of games that, yeah, well, we kind of already knew he needs lots of chances before he gets a goal. Yeah, his conversion rate isn't the best. But could we afford to put in 200 grand a week for a striker that isn't going to give you 20 goals a season? Yeah, he might be really good with the youth players. He might be really good for those kind of things, but for 200,000 a week, not really going to cut it. I think at Arsenal, and it's not really what we are craving. So for us to be linked with players like we have done in this transfer window, it's really assuring because it is what we need. And the club should be commended in a way for going after these targets. And that Vlahovic was or is a marquee signing. And yeah, for someone being talked in the same ilk as Haaland, for us to be going in for him or trying to get him, and yeah, really trying, was it shows that yeah they're trying to get us to that next level, but it is going to be hard as we've seen through developments. But yeah, take nothing away. Sambi was playing deeper in the holding role, picking up the ball, but again it was very crowded in the middle areas, and you'll see from Burnley's shape that was what it was like, and they were very crowded. They played like a 4-4-2, but yeah, they had everyone kind of tucking into those central areas to get in and around Arsenal, disturb them, stop them playing in those middle areas, and avoid those balls coming through the lines. So that did mean that Arsenal had a lot of joy wide and had to get the ball wide to then try and get crosses into the box to try and deal with them. And whether or not that was a ploy from Burnley to say, yeah, let them go wide and keep crossing balls in, they're not gonna trouble us. We can deal with that every day. That's Sean Dyche. But yeah, I know they've got just two really good centre backs there, Tarkowski and Ben Mee as well. So they really solid. So overall, yes, massively disappointed. Yeah, but we knew that there was no real way of changing that game. There was no one on the bench. We had no one on the bench to basically say, yeah, we're going to make a real difference. We brought on Nketiah, and Nketiah we know isn't going to change a game, isn't going to change the flow of game. That's just where we are. There's not a lot of movement for changes in those games. And yeah, if we come out of this break, yeah, we should have everyone back. I don't think we will have the all the African nations guys. We might have Pepe back, but yeah, we're still a little way from getting everyone back. But as I say, it's not all doom and gloom. We picked up a point. We've got a point ahead of Tottenham because they ended up losing against Chelsea. Obviously, that was why it was a big weekend, because if we get 3 points and Tottenham lose, then that takes us away from Tottenham. Whereas now, yeah, we're level on points with, but they've got a game in hand. So yeah, there are big things with regards to the result, but we know that we've got to still play them, and they've still got some big games that they've got to play, just like us. But we've got some games at home against those teams, whereas they've got to go away. And yeah, we'll have to see how it pans out. But the next 5 games are crucial. Yeah, I think, and I've listed them here. And yeah, Wolves away is going to be a tricky one. They've seemed to have found a little bit of form and a way of playing with their new manager. But again, we had a good performance against them last year, and then until it went sour. And yeah, we got Brentford at home. Again, it's a winnable game, isn't it? They're all winnable on paper, but you can see the Villa game being very, very tricky. Villa have had a really good season under Steven Gerrard, so that will be a tricky game, and he'll get them fired for that game. So I can see that game and the Watford game being very, very hard. Watford will be scrapping for their lives, but we always have a tough battle against Watford away. But as I say, all three away games are going to be tough, and we'll say that. And if we can get a couple of wins from those, we'll have done very well. And then taken into the home games, and if we can get 4 wins out of those, then we are in a good position. And yeah, we can't lie about that. But that's what we've got to focus on, and that's what's in front of us. And we have to win as much as we can to get up that table. But yeah, maximum points at home. It's got to be. But then these away games just are those potential banana skins, and we've got to be wary of them. But I'm pretty certain we can get our mojo back after this little break. And you're suddenly just thinking, yeah, they probably do need a reset. A lot of game minutes have been played by a few players, and as the squad has been trimmed, it makes it harder for them as well, because there's no real quality to kind of back them up. And these guys being young as well makes it even harder, because they've got pressure on them, and they don't need pressure, to be honest. They're young, they've got to learn, and they've got to be able to do it. But we should not be relying on those players the way we are relying on them. Yeah, they should be developing and learning alongside seasoned professionals. So players that have been in the game and have done it, not be the ones that are the be all and end all, and the ones that are striving to show others how to perform. But that's the situation we're in, and it can get better. It will get better, I'm sure. And just got to have a bit of sensible attitude to it all, really. There's no point in changing. There is, if someone can put an argument into me about how change or how getting rid of Mikel Arteta would actually benefit the club, okay, who is going to be bought in. Yeah. How much money will this manager need? Yeah. And what will happen with the players that have been brought in under the previous regime? And you're suddenly thinking we're going to go backwards again. It's happened to Tottenham many times. They get a few steps forward, and then they get a semi good manager, and they seem to be doing well, and then they press the self-destruct button. It's almost like Homer Simpson on the old in the old chemical plant. And he pushes the button, and it was like Daniel Levy pushing the button, and then all of a sudden the good manager disappears, and they get another manager in, and it's really crap, and they go down. And this happened with Pochettino. Yeah, I just look at it. I just think we've got to get behind the manager. We know it's not a quick fix. It isn't going to be instant success. Getting rid of Arteta and getting in another manager is not going to give you instant success. And yeah, you look at Tuchel. Yeah, he's going for a little bad spell. There's going to be little bumps in the road, but it isn't going to be a sudden change. Remember, Tuchel had a fantastic squad to come straight into, so it weren't exactly that he's had to change a lot. If Arteta had his way of playing and he had all the players and seasoned professionals in and around what he wanted to do, then we're probably looking and talking totally different about Arsenal as well. Because we've got a young squad and a team that are saturated with players that should be moving on, and we've been trying to do that for quite a few years to try and move some of these players on, and eventually we are now getting rid of those players. So it's just really just need to just get some focus on getting behind what we're trying to do. And yeah, everyone talks about the project, and I don't believe the project or something. Rip up another thing? We know it was brought in for a long-term project, which is fair enough. We know the regime isn't going to go and chuck in loads of their own money to help us. So yeah, we are spending money, but we've had to spend money, and that's where we are, because we've had to try and play catch up. We've had to try and get players in, and yeah, I just don't see the sense in ripping up something else, another project, and that's that. Get someone else in, new ideas. Again, didn't understand the Emery appointment at all either. Wenger leaves, 21 years in the job, philosophy for all ages of the club. We then finish with him, and rather than continue the philosophy, the way of playing, the style of playing that players are accustomed to, we then get in a manager that is totally the opposite, and a different mindset, different mentality, and you're suddenly thinking, where was the continuation there? Why was Wenger allowed to stay for 10 years with that philosophy and that way of playing? If we were just going to rip it up, we may as well have just made the change then. But this is why I say about the continuity. We have to continue with the manager, and he's got to be allowed the time to bring what he wants to bring in, and that is key. So get behind Arsenal, get behind the manager, and let's just trust what he's doing and see where it brings us. Yeah, he's also been given another, or it's been reported that he's been offered a new contract to give him an extension. But again, if he's doing, if he's in part of a project, then the club has still got make a decision, haven't they? And yeah, they do see probably good things, and they probably hear good things from some of the players as well. But Arteta's had to make a lot of changes as well within that playing squad. And yeah, he's had to deal with a lot of bumps, playing squad, everything. And it is hard. And it will be. But yeah, we can't use that to batter him because, yeah, he's doing what he's doing. And like I say, we went on that good run before we had this little bump in the road. And yeah, it is what it is. But there is positivity there, and we've got a good set of players, and we just need to now add some quality to it. And once the quality comes, then will be some more consistency with that group. But yeah, I'm not massively worried. Yeah, there's enough games left to play. I mean, 17 games left of the season, just over halfway, and yeah, there's too much doom and gloom. But just get behind Arsenal and make sure that we finish the best possible way we can. But yeah, tune in again, guys, on Monday for the deadline day finale, and yeah, it will be hopefully a very interesting couple of hours. I know we like to leave it very late, certainly in on deadline day, and there's been some really good transfers really late on. But yeah, tune in with us, and we'll go through some of the stuff that's happened over this deadline day, and yeah, hopefully have some really good news about players coming in. But thanks for listening, Gooners, and yeah, see you Monday. Have a good weekend.